Let me read a letter I recently received. Dear NoClick, how far can someone go to make your life a living nightmare? What are some early signs of schizophrenia? Is it delusion, fear perhaps? Or is it something else? Is it something deep inside the mind, something that cannot truly be explained but felt? Or does that something even exist in the first place? Sincerely, an Absolute Full Life player. Thank you for writing, Absolute Full Life player. Of course, your question touches on one of the most basic biological impulses, the urge to be happy. Let us consider that for the first time ever, as a species, we have never been further from happiness than we are right now. Absolute Full Life changed my life. Still not sure if it was for the best or for the worst, but a change was needed. In case you are not familiar with this game, all there is to know about it is that it was made by the same person who made Project 3. Check out this video to know more about that. However, unlike Project 3, Absolute Full Life has some identity to it. Or at least it tries having one, but it just ends up looking like Cruelty Squad. Over 80% of the reviews are positive. Reviews are never wrong. So the game must be good, right? I mean, the game description sounds really exciting. You can middle finger your enemies when they annoy you a lot. You can have your own dog. It offers a big open world like your mom. And most importantly, your dad will come back with milk. The developer was kind enough to update the game after release, posting great updates such as Skibbity Patch, some bug fix, some random Chinese text, and even this. So it's time to jump into it and see what it is about. Please know that this costs about 15 euros. It is not just some free-to-play game on itch.io. We start off with some kind of minigame. There is not much to do here except enter this room and find a chair, or enter this room and find a rope. Hey, wait a minute. We are greeted by the main menu, which honestly looks pretty unique. While changing some settings, a very good song starts blasting in our ears. New game. Which difficulty should I pick? The difficulty the game was originally designed with. This will probably not affect my playthrough in any bad way, I'm pretty sure about that. How did it begin? A cutscene begins. The main character and his dog get into a car and start running away from the police. The main character almost decides to end it all, but then decides against it because of the dog. He runs over someone, goes to a bar, someone gives him some pills and he falls to the ground. Waking up, something is very strange. The bathroom is no longer dark. The main character, who from now on I will call the Sleeker, realizes that the toilets can be used as a saving point. Wait a minute. This was made in Unity, the same engine that was used for Project 3. The developer said he could not add a save and load mechanic to that game because it was way too difficult to implement. How does that make any sense? Project 3 came out after Absolute Full Life. Is it that difficult to copy-paste some code? What? The Sleeker then exits the bathroom, goes to the bar and starts talking to the bartender.
What brings you here? And what exactly are you looking for?
It's you. You look like...
You're late for it.
We are given 4 options to choose from. None of them can be read out loud without causing major controversy. I went with the most socially acceptable one.
M. What the Sigma?
You're a cringe.
You're late for it.
It seems the bartender does not have the answers. The Sleeker must find them himself. We find a conveniently placed crowbar, which the Sleeker likes to hold like a cup of tea, and then we go down some stairs. At first I had no idea what to do in this room. It looked like some kind of portal puzzle, where you have to put something on a big button to open a door. The problem is, the only thing that could be placed on that button was this cactus that could not be moved. But then I realized, it did move, but only when not looking at it. The worst thing about this cactus is that it can damage the player when getting too close. Completing the puzzle results in falling in the sewers and being followed by even more cactuses. This is a cactus chasing sewer maze section. I cannot believe I said that. The fact that we are alone in the universe is because we are just a fallible anomaly of thinking and moving material that is not common in the universe. Yeah. We find this door and go upstairs. Just don't look at them. Look at who? Oh, the skibidi toilet monsters. Wait, it's time to explain the key mechanic. What can be seen on the screen right now is a key called the classic key. It can only be used to open the classic door. Unfortunately, there is no way to tell which door is the classic door and which one it isn't. So you are going to have to walk around for 20 minutes just to try finding the correct one. Could this be the correct door? Green gas enjoyer. Enter the green gas without hesitation. Damn it. Where is the door? It has been 30 minutes. Yeah, so I'm watching a YouTube playthrough after only playing for 30 minutes. This is gonna be fun. Yes, the classic door with a random alien on it. Obviously. No! I am sorry, Mr. Fish.
What are you buying, weirdo? Got some rare things on sale, weirdo.
This is our drug dealer. Here is the shop. This guy will be our main source of happiness from now on. Let me also explain how the currency works in this game. Each time a monster dies, it drops an organ. That organ can be used to buy stuff in the shop. Sounds easy, but it is not. The monsters only drop organs if they are shot in specific places. So finding enough organs to buy stuff from the shop is gonna be a challenge. The Sleeker realizes that life is not that bad after all. We're all gonna die anyway. Why not die now? A red arrow. Go this way. There will be a way out around the corner. The way is here. Lose against ventilation. Boss fight. The Sleeker's next task is to get lost for 25 minutes and then find out the only way to progress is to buy a valve from the shop to open a gate. Only to be greeted by whatever this is supposed to be. The only way to get past this section is to use the pistol, which, believe it or not, can only be manually reloaded. Just watch this clip of him trying to figure it out for the first time. Remember that quote, you miss 100% of the shots you do not take? In Absolute Full Life, you miss 100% of the shots you take, just because of how bad the hitboxes are. I love Monkey.
Did he say something?
What are you doing here?
I'm playing guitar. Are you blind or something?
Will you play something on request?
Sure, I could certainly give it a try.
I don't know any of these. Just do this one.
Nah, I'm not playing this.
Really? Okay, that one.
Nah.
What?
I'm not playing this. Nah.
Man!
Sure, I could certainly give it a try.
What? I guess this would be a good time to talk about the difficulty. During my 11-hour-long playthrough, I have died at least like 500 times. Every single part of the map is filled with enemies. And not only is it very difficult to find ammo, but one single enemy takes like an entire pistol magazine. No matter how difficult a section is, there is no way to cheese it. But hey, at least there's gambling. Anyway, we pick up another key and a pink gorilla shows up. Luckily, there are supply crates nearby, which makes this boss battle a lot easier. New achievement. It's as big as your mom. After picking up that key earlier, the Sleeker decides it is a good time to put it to use. It's the outside world. Confused, the Sleeker decides to go to the nearest train station in hope of hopping on a train and leaving this weird place. Too bad a train ticket costs money. Anyway, the Sleeker starts getting bullied by a walking tree, steals a bicycle and then starts exploring the place. The Sleeker realizes he needs to buy some kind of item that can open this gate. So he goes back inside when he realizes that this room, which was filled with toxic stuff earlier on, no longer has toxic stuff inside of it. Upon turning a random thing in the room, the toxic pool outside of the room gets emptied. Eager, even curious to some degree, the Sleeker decides to explore the empty pool. How does a deaf and blind person know that he exists? What? A pistol upgrade can be found here. I mean, what does a silencer do? It's not like it does more damage, it's just silent, but it's the same thing. The item to open the outside gate costs 20 organs. The Sleeker decided he had enough of the bartender. A shotgun. Now that's more like it. You pick up Crank. Yes, I can shove it up my angry, frustrated, and completely broke. The Sleeker decided to go back outside. He thinks to himself, who says I must take the train? A bike can do just fine. It took him 2 minutes of biking to an empty area to finally reach civilization again. Was it worth it? Perhaps. He finds this secret place. The Sleeker gets bullied into jumping down and proceeds to die because pressing the space button did nothing. What an exciting life he has. But finally he saves. Let's see if he has what it takes to complete this section. Guess not. Live to fight another day. This is when I accidentally made an amazing discovery. These trees can die and even drop 2 organs upon death. Just like that, the Sleeker went from being broke to now being richer than insert controversial rich person here, and proceeded to buy the large pliers to open this mysterious gate. Some might wonder, what's behind the gate? It's a church, of course. What is in the church? Well, it's a puzzle that requires the Sleeker to find one of these big blue heads. This is not going to be relevant for quite some time, so let's move on. Here is a skibby toilet. Why? Moving on, what we have next can only be described as the unofficial final boss of Absolute Full Life. The game expects you to jump on these platforms, kill some NPCs, jump on some cars, and avoid being shot at by 3 snipers at the same time. The main problem is the movement. Sometimes pressing space to jump does absolutely nothing. So you are going to have to play through the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again just to get a good run where you don't accidentally fall in the green toxic thing and die. There is no way to skip this section, trust me, I tried. It must be completed, and it will be completed, just not right now. So it was time for the Sleeker to go back to that part he could not beat earlier and finally find out what is hiding there. He died 14 times in total, and after an excruciating amount of time had passed, the Sleeker was finally able to get rid of all the NPCs and find a toilet to save his progress. But the battle was not over. The next part would prove to be even more difficult. What is so bad about this part? Well, first of all, it's the enemies and the lack of supplies. Normally in an open space like this, it would be easy to just run away from the enemies. But the developer decided to be sneaky and added in this enemy, who can just stun the player and make time for the other enemies to approach him. Combine that with the fact that this hand has the most impossible to reach hitboxes of all time, and you have this situation. If that's not enough, if by some godforsaken miracle you are able to run past the enemies and get on this platform, some more enemies will be waiting at the end of another extremely difficult platforming section. What? You managed to get past them? Congratulations! How about a puzzle where you must go back to everything you just went through and count every single barrel, bed, and supply crate to then come back here and change the numbers on the padlock to the respective numbers of items you counted, which by the way are different for everyone, which means there's no way to cheese it by watching a YouTube video, then somehow go through this entire platforming section again without falling in the green toxic thing and dying, all while having no save points, meaning that if you were to accidentally fall down, you would have to start all of this from scratch. Apparently I did not even count the items properly, so I just cheesed it by choosing random numbers. An ice key. Nice. That opened the train track. Let's see where the ice key leads to. A portal puzzle. Too bad there's no way to solve it right now. It's time to see where the train track leads to. An invisible wall. Very nice. At this point, the Sleeker realized he might actually have to buy a train ticket, which, by the way, costs 20 organs, making it pretty much impossible to be obtained, unless there is another way. The Sleeker decided to go back to the church and pray for a miracle. There was this hidden room upstairs. Maybe it had the answers to his problems. The Sleeker stared at the wall for a couple of minutes and noticed something. A grave. What if there was something hidden in the graves outside of the church? Normally this would be extremely unethical, but the Sleeker did not care. It was for a noble cause. He needed to beat Absolute Full Life. It was way too addictive. And there it was, a train ticket. How lucky of him. Okay, I have to be honest, this was a complete accident. You don't want to know how shocked I was to find this. With the train ticket in his hand, the Sleeker rode the train into the sunset. Bad ending? How is that a bad ending? Oh my god, dude, this is never gonna end. The Sleeker was not happy with the ending and decided to explore and look for more secrets. And by explore, I mean watching a YouTube video to see what to do next. Shout out to this guy, by the way. To this day, he is the only person on YouTube to do an absolute full life playthrough. What a madman. Lamao. So how exactly do you get the other endings? Well, you're gonna need 50 organs. Yes, 50 organs. Why? To buy something from the shop. What is it? It's something called the Schizophrenic. It's impossible to farm the organs by killing monsters, because there are nowhere near that amount of monsters on the map. So I present to you the organ farming method. This strategy requires the player to go back to the sniper section, complete this platforming section, get an organ from this enemy, go back, save, jump in the toxic stuff, and then respawn. Not sure if this was intended, but if the player dies after saving, they get the ammo they used before saving back and even get to keep the organ from the enemy. This particular enemy always respawns. So, by using the organ farming method, it is possible to pretty much farm as many organs as possible. We need 50 of them to buy the item from the shop, which means this strategy must be done 50 times, which is easier said than done. This took me 1 hour of grinding. I just kept falling in the green stuff. Developer, please make it so the enemy trees can respawn. That way, it would not be necessary to do this kind of shit.
What are you selling? Weirdo.
Please give me schizovision glasses. Let's see what wearing them looks like. What the fuck? A PNG blocking 95% of the screen is not what I imagined schizovision would be like. It is going to be very difficult to make this watchable, but I will try. The Sleeker remembers a door he found earlier. It had the same schizo glasses logo on it, and so the Sleeker went inside. What did he find? A bunch of nothing, and a barrel with the word crashing on it. What could it mean? Yeah, that makes sense. Then the Sleeker remembered again. There was a similar door in the other part of the map. He went there, spent over 15 minutes trying to complete this stupid platforming section, only to get through the door and discover that, just like the first door, it also led absolutely nowhere. The Sleeker almost gave up. He grinded organs for over an hour, spent another hour trying to figure out what to do with the stupid glasses, and made no progress whatsoever. It was devastating. All hope was lost. But then, this absolute Gigachad of a YouTuber came in with the rescue. Let me explain what needs to be done in the nicest way possible. The way to progress is to use this map that can be found near the cactus sewer section. The map shows the location of 3 different buttons that can be pressed to unlock a secret door. Sounds easy, right? Well, it's not. Trying to find the buttons using the map is like trying to find your dad after he left to buy milk. It is not happening. Oh, did I mention that the buttons are in the cactus sewer section and that it took me 35 minutes of dying to cactuses while looking at the same wall texture over and over again to find them? You won't see any of that footage, but just know that I am in absolute pain and Don't come here without a special device. Oh, I'm gonna show you my special device. These weird guys who are only visible on the schizo glasses show up, but they are nothing to worry about. Whoa, hold on. Is that a puzzle that can be solved in less than 2 hours? By the way, here is how reloading the shotgun works in absolute full life. We have no control over our lives. Have you ever chosen what you like and what you don't like before you taste it? In the end, it wouldn't even work without it. But who is in control? Bro, what are you talking about? Oh look, another puzzle that requires the player to spend minutes writing notes just to complete it. 3 front, 1 left, 2 front, 1 left, 2 front, 3 right, 3 front, 2 left, 2 front, 2 right, 1 front. God. Another puzzle. 3 puzzles in a row with no save station. But wait, there's more. The game also wants us to fight like 6 of these things before finally giving us a checkpoint. Our dog is back! No, not the dog! You are going to pay, Tentacle from Half-Life 1. Never mind, take the dog. Is that Dexter Morgan? Alright, so the only way to win the boss fight is to not shoot the tentacle, but instead make it destroy these pillars so this can happen. Yeah, we're not going up there. Oh my god. A dog mechanic. These portal puzzles make so much sense now. What is that sound? Did the developer only add the portal puzzles to hide memes around the map? Wait, there is another one of these in the other part of the map. Let's quickly go there. Okay, dog, make it count. You picked up a piece of heart. What? A fun and easy puzzle, followed by the game rewarding us with something? Continuing the adventures of the Sleeker, he must find the remaining pieces of the heart that will open this gate and lead him to the final boss. During a well-documented research, the Sleeker realizes he missed something earlier on and must go back to that hidden room in the cactus sewer section and complete all of the puzzles again. What did he miss? A secret entrance. Sounding the dread alarm through his primal body, the Sleeker descends into the well and finds a bunch of dumbasses. These guys do not actually deal any damage. They are only here to annoy and distract the player, so these insects, or whatever they are, can sneak around and deal a lot of damage. Unfortunately, this is another one of those unfair sections that took me forever to complete. Not only is this place a maze, which is very difficult to figure out, but these weird insects can walk through the walls, which has to be the stupidest design choice in video game history. None of this is fair. The only real choice here is to run away and hope that the weird insects don't have enough time to get to you through the walls. It's just nonsense. It's just stupid. I mean, who thought of this? Anyway, the Sleeker finds this guy, steals his revolver, gets a code for a door, and finds the second piece of the heart. One more to go. Where could that last piece be? Spoiler, it's at the impossible sniper section. To complete this section, first you need to go and open this door using the code we got from the guy, and then in this room you will find an AK-69 and the weird blue head that is needed to complete the puzzle in the church. Completing the puzzle results in unlocking the AVP, or AWP, whatever you want to call it, which can be used to complete the stupid sniper section. Oh yeah, the sniper section. Look, I understand. Games need to be challenging, especially when it comes to getting the last piece of the heart that can unlock a gate to the final boss. That's fine. I'm not the kind of person to back down from a challenge. However, when the challenge is to spend over 45 minutes trying to snipe some snipers with an AVP that does not have a scope and can only be used to find enemies using the first-person scope or whatever it's called, it's not a challenge. It's insanity. The enemies cannot even be seen on the scope. No matter what FOV or settings you have, it is impossible to see anything. The only way to know where to shoot is to either use the dog mechanic to get an idea of where your shot could go, or just pray that what you are aiming at is the enemy and not just some crate or whatever. Don't even get me started on the fact that I had to do this stupid organ glitch again just to buy some AVP ammo, because apparently when getting the AVP, the game decided it's enough to give the player one single bullet for it. Completing that part leads the player to this section, which honestly was okay. Don't really know how to explain this, but basically everything is an illusion and you must find a way out using the power of not being stupid. Upon arriving at the end of the section, the Sleeker suddenly comes to a stop. Not because he wanted to, but because, for some reason, something opened on his second monitor. It was this video. So the developer decided it would be a good idea to code it so that when people reach this part of the game, their browser will open and this YouTube PNG jump scare will play. No idea if that's allowed on Steam, but I have seen other developers do much worse. So let's grab the final piece of the heart, ignore all of this and get to the final boss. But not before farming 50 more organs just to have enough to buy everything from the shop to be ready for the final boss. Do not worry, this only took like 15 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, the final boss. Ooh, scary big guy. Ignore him, he does not do anything. The real boss battle is not him, but this maze. You see, the objective here is to find 4 big rockets and shoot them at the big green guy. Before I show you the ending, here is a small thing I forgot to mention. It is possible to pet the dog. Here is the ending. The Sleeker wakes up from his nightmare. He must now face the consequences of what he did. His next move is to whoa. That is the ending. Apparently, it's the worst ending, even though it's literally the only real ending. Here's my take on this. The developer probably had no idea how to end this, so he decided not to put any good ending in. Or maybe the good ending is just being able to stay in this world forever. We have learned in the introduction that the protagonist was in trouble before getting here. So maybe that's the idea. The protagonist just wants to live his life in this place forever because the real world is too bad? No idea, man. I mean, it's a theory, but it's just a game theory. At first, denial hit me. Maybe the objective needed to be completed faster. That is not the case. Completing this in 10 minutes, 5 minutes or 3 minutes does not change anything. Trust me, I went through it multiple times just to make sure. In fact, my level of denial got so big, I started going achievement hunting, just to unlock the real ending. This achievement caught my eye. Finish the main boss between 0 and 0.05 pixelation. What does 0.05 pixelation look like? This. I completed the boss battle like this, and only got an achievement for it. So I went looking for Easter eggs, and I found this one. But what does it even mean? The Absolute Full Life Discord server made mention of another secret ending near the tree in the other side of the map. It sounds interesting, but prepare to be disappointed. This secret ending is just getting on a chair and then eating a rope. You know what I mean. There is no secret cutscene or anything like that. Whatever, who cares? The story is over, I think, if there was any story in the first place. No click. Is Absolute Full Life a good game? Honestly, no, but there was something about it. I would not have played for 11 hours if it had nothing going for it. Even though it was very painful at times, the game had an identity. It knew what it wanted to be. However, with that in mind, I don't think it's worth 15 euros. Maybe like 2 or 3 at most, maybe 5. Take this review and goodbye.